Hello there, Big Benedict here. We're playing God of War Ghost of Sparta on God difficulty, and this is my Pain Plus guided walkthrough. We're currently on Installment the 6th, and we have just taken out Uranus, and we are in the area where you're given a testing period for the Scourge of Uranus, and earlier in the walkthrough, when I was talking about the hoplites and them being a pleasure to fight, I mainly meant that it's a challenging enemy that, for the most part, is well balanced enough so that you feel like it's a new stepping stone as you're trying to get more familiar with the game and deal with a little bit tougher of an enemy than the Triton lords and things like that, but I do have to say that just the way that they run at you from off the screen is definitely unforgivable. I don't begrudge their speed at all, because it's a speed that is not too hard to react to, honestly. I wish Kratos could be sped up a little bit, quite honestly. And yes, we do have looming in the distance what I've said before in the past is an undoable fight, an impossible fight with Gerons, and you might be wondering, well, how is this going to be possible? Look at that! Do you see that dog shit? You fucks. It's possible. I've done it. I've done it 3 times. And I think it's actually a really, really good fight. The Gerons are the type of enemy that, because they have so much life on level 1 runs, it just they don't seem too fun to fight, and there really is nothing worse than having to whack away at an enemy, for such a long time without it dying. But yeah, that fight is coming. I actually, before I set out on my Pain Plus run, I made sure that I was able to do that fight. Now, there's a fight coming up that's difficult after that too, with Carries Wraiths and Armored Cyclopses at the same time. It's that fight earlier in the walkthrough that I said is an anti-gamer fight, and I still hold true to that. I think it's a combination of enemies that should just not be together. It's bad news all around. But yeah, I did make sure that I was able to do that fight with the Gerons. No, I haven't done the one with the. I just haven't gotten that far in the walkthrough. The one with the Wraiths and the Armored Cyclopses. But honestly, I'm not too concerned about it. Should I be? Possibly, since I can't use magic like I did last time to give myself some iframes. But we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. But by the time that I start publishing the videos, I will make sure that the entire project is, doable on my behalf. As we march our way to the jails of Sparta, I really like this part over here. Not the slow walking, mind you, but the actual goings on in the jail. So once we get down into the jails, we're going to be running up against I think have we faced the Minotaur brutes, the ones with the sledgehammers? If we haven't, then that's where that enemy premieres. Have we fought the satyrs? I'm just trying to remember if we have. I'm not sure. But I do apologize. In the last video that I was so upset at how that that fight came to pass with the wretches and the cyclopses. I mean, talk about inexcusable. That's just ridiculous. But damn, this game looks good. So the first fight over here, it's going to be a small fight with 3. Actually, before we get to the Piraeus lion, there's only 2 fights, and they're simple fights. The Piraeus lion, well, I have a usual problem with the Piraeus lion, and there's going to be plenty of time to talk about it on that fight because it's a decent length fight. But here are these ones over here. When they slide at you, you can't block. It'll go through your block, so you have to parry it instead, unless you want to take I think about 80 to 90% of your life will get drained. So I think probably the best way to deal with this type of an enemy would be to jump over it, bounce it with triangle, and see how many times you can throw them in the air. That would be my guess, and I think that is going to be my strategy going forward with this enemy, because I can't believe we haven't encountered this enemy quite yet. But anyway, there's the parry on the slide, and it's not too terribly difficult to have that timing. I mean, I would say that it's probably about the same amount of a window of opportunity that you get when the carries race or the cars race. They jump out of the ground at you. So anyway, that is fight number 1. Fight number 2 is over here to the right, and we will be seeing a familiar enemy coming up on this next fight. It'll be a wretch. The Cursed Wretches. There's the Dissenter. And the Piraeus Lion, too. One of the reasons that I don't like the fight is because it has a bad checkpoint on it. Unfortunately, you have to watch a scene every time, and that's really a shame. Really bad. Anyway, come on this room. Now, when you get into this room, you'll see these ones over here to the left, and then the Minotaur Brute is on a timer, and he has a fantastic entrance over here as he smashes through the wall. You can throw these bugs at him if you want to, but again, with the collateral damage in this game, it's not really something that you're gonna capitalize on with damage. It's more of just creating opportunities for yourself by bouncing other enemies out of the way. You know, you throw one enemy at another, it gets out of the way, or you tackle one enemy to the ground, others that were in the vicinity of that get bounced out of the way too, and it just creates opportunity for you. It's not keen on damage. It just is simply not. And the reason I know that for sure is because I've played a lot of God of War 2, and I've seen enemies. Well, you've seen it firsthand. All of the collision and how much of a game-changing impact it has on enemies. I mean, you can put a satyr down to the circle prompt really quickly. Excuse me. But here he is with his sledgehammer. He only does one swing of the sledgehammer. It might look like he's going to do another one afterwards, but he's actually just trying to regain his momentum. And at level 1, it's going to take quite a while to take care of this guy over here. But once you finish him, you're going to almost be into the area where the boss battle is over here. How does this enemy strike you? The Piraeus lion. What do you think about this enemy? Because I'm not too impressed by it, honestly. I think it's difficult because he has one move that his blockable slash parryable move looks similar. I'm just saying it looks similar to the move where he grabs you even if you're blocking. You can't parry it either. And he always does that move after his roar, which when he does it, you'll see how I neutralize it. It's a simple matter of just jumping over it. And even if he locks you into the shoulder tapping, if you're quick to get out of it, you will not be in any danger. You'll have to move out of the way of that, because when he goes up on his hind legs and brings down both of his arms at you, that is the move that you can't block and you can't parry, and it deals half of your life off. Now, what I'm talking about in comparison is the one where, when he goes up and, well, you'll see it. He does it all the time. I know that they look different, and I didn't say they were the same at all. I just said that they kind of seem similar from my vantage point. So my main tactic on this is triangle, square, triangle. Super pluming him is it's possible, but see, the problem about that is he might do his he's got a lot of range to his attacks, so staying away from him to buffer all the inputs for your super plume, you're gonna have to carry it forward to make contact with him, right? Because you can't just stay far away from him. You need to be able to land that move that you're inputting. So you're gonna have to recross that distance, and in so doing, you might open yourself up for getting hit. So it's not really a boss that you can super plume spam, and just hoard that move. There is this funny kind of thing when he's over to the left and you're bouncing him a lot. He definitely stays in the air bounced, and I don't know if you can loop him that way, but you also see that I'm doing the square hold move. I've gained quite a I don't know if I would call it a fondness for this move, but I think it's a good attack, and it doesn't have too much recovery, and it's a move that you have to commit to. But square hold, this kind of thing, it's kind of funny to see him bounce like that. You know what I think would be more appropriate for that move where you can't, and you're probably going to guess this already, but the move where you can't parry it or block it. Well, yeah, just have it so that you can't block it, but have it so that you can parry it, so the person doesn't have to frantically roll out of the way, and worry about all that range that it has, because it has a ton of range to it. And I think it's a boss that can be respected. It doesn't have, I'm trying to think of it. It doesn't have any irredeemable qualities. I really don't think so, honestly, because being able to cancel out of that roar of his by just jumping and moving out of the way, and even if you get caught in it, even if you're right in front of him, like an inch in front of him, and you're caught in that move, there's time to get out of the way. It's fair. Okay, there we go. That's it. Don't screw up on the quick time events. And now we're treated with this. The next video, I'm not trying to think. Yes, the next video has one of my favorite fights in it. It's a fight with some Gorgons and some Satyrs, and it's just a good old natured, good fun fight for my standards, and I really do appreciate it. And I did go ahead and look up whether there was a town called Dicktown, New Jersey, and it doesn't appear that there's a Dicktown, New Jersey. Maybe in more colloquial circles you might find that there is a Dicktown, New Jersey somewhere. But I can confirm that there definitely is a place in hell called Pigtown. I'm just kidding. In Baltimore, Maryland, and it's called Pigtown. And it's no colloquialism. That's what it's called. That place is called Pigtown. And it's just a lot of crime there. A lot of people just pissing on the streets, shitting on the streets. A lot of robberies, rapes, and murders. I mean, the place is called fucking Pigtown. What do you expect? People to be nice to you over there? Take care.